Welcome to the Smash Masters podcast, hosted by Stefan Eschi and Nick Priest. This is where we dig into the auto body collision repair field and talk quality repair methods and how the industry is always changing. Buckle up, it gonna get bumpy.
Whoa, what's up? What's going on, man? Another Monday morning. We got, what is it, episode 23?
Morning, where are you?
Yeah, I know, right? It's afternoon.
Yeah, 23 episodes. It's been going by quick. Alex is first.
Yeah, Alex first. What's going on, Alex? Alex and Tyler. Nice to see you guys in here. How you guys doing?
Tyler made it this time. Very nice.
Yeah, good to see you in here. Welcome in, everybody, if you're just joining in.
We got an announcement to make. I don't know if you remember, but we got an announcement to make.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
what is it?
Yeah, let's go. What is it?
We are now available on Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, and
Apple
Podcasts. Yeah,
right.
that one would get by me because I don't have the Apple. So.
Right. So yes, absolutely. So we are on all the podcast streaming platforms. If you guys want to go over there and give us a follow, check that out.
Yeah,
that would be much appreciated.
Absolutely. It's it was a little bit of work getting up on there, but we had quite a few people asking if we'd be on the audio podcast world, and happy to deliver.
Janelle in here. What's going on?
Hey, Janelle. So actually, you know what's funny is that, I mean, we've been doing this 23 episodes, and I feel like as soon as I saw our name on Spotify and Amazon, I was like, oh, we're real now.
Now it's official.
Official.
It wasn't official until you see your name on Apple Podcast and Spotify. So now we're an official podcast. So
very cool.
Really cool.
Yeah, so head to your favorite podcast app. If you use one that's different than the ones we just mentioned, let me know, because I can get on more of them. I know iHeartRadio was another one that was an option we can get on. So let us know. You just send us a message anytime.
Gregory.
Either of us or the Smash Masters account. Hey, Gregory. Let me know which platforms you want to listen on, and I'll do my best to get us on there. Appreciate all of you.
Yeah,
y'all are the reason
I got you.
We're doing this.
Yeah, it's some fun stuff, good stuff. So we're on all the official podcast shows, except for like the iHeart and whatever. If you guys love that,
we can be
on
that.
Yeah. We can be on that too. But these are just ones to start out. So we've got that going now, guys. All of that and the giveaway. I don't know if you guys forgot about the giveaway or not, but the Smash Master Slide Hammer giveaway. That guy right there is coming up next week, and
last chance to get in on this thing.
Yeah, be sure and go over to the Smash Masters page,
Facebook
page, and follow all those instructions and get in to win.
Yeah, I love to see you guys winning this stuff, because
me too.
I've been the recipient of a giveaway before, and it's so awesome. You never forget, and every time you go to use, especially something like a tool, every time you go to use it, you're reminded, oh yeah, I won this from blah, and I love that you guys are winning tools from us, and anyway.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I won something one time off of a Snap-on truck, and I thought that stuff was just fake, like many people do. They're like, I don't want to enter and win that stuff. That's fake. But I won a Snap-on refrigerator one time, and that was really coul.
Was it a mini fridge?
It was a mini fridge, Snap-on mini fridge.
I want a mini fridge from Snap-on once.
Right.
A little Epic. It's actually on top of my toolbox here in the garage.
Well, this one was. It's not like that. It was a Snap-on. It was what was it? It was kind of like a dispenser. So you push the Snap-on emblem and out, was like a vending machine
Oh,
almost, but it was still really cool.
even cooler. Yeah, mine's
Yeah,
just a mini fridge.
yeah. It was pretty sweet. I think it held like 3 cases of whatever your favorite beverage to put in there. So it's really nice.
Sweet. So
Um,
yeah, winning things is fun.
it
Janelle hung
is.
up her Peel Wheel banner. Oh yeah, that's right.
Hmm.
You won the Peel Wheel
Yeah,
giveaway.
the peel wheel stuff. That was
Biggie
cool.
Smalls. Okay. I don't
Yeah.
think Biggie Smalls is in your mixing room, Janelle.
Uh,
I'm sure there's a story there.
there's a picture of Biggie over by the paint guns. So
All
yeah,
right, all right,
yeah,
all
yeah,
right. I
yeah,
think of Biggie every day that I end up in Wendy's and I order the Biggie bag.
yeah,
Yeah, so it makes me think of Biggie Smalls.
yeah.
Dead. Okay, Gen Z.
Hmm. Right.
So, today's topic.
Yeah, we got what are we talking about here? What does total loss mean? What does that mean? That means like just simply put your airbags blown in your vehicle and the car's done for, right?
Yeah, yeah. As soon as those airbags go, it's done.
That's what that means. That you she said I'm not Gen Z.
You know,
Yeah,
you
so you,
saying bet over there, so I don't know. There's no cap. You know,
mhm,
got that Riz elder millennial.
mhm.
Yeah, I think we all are. Honestly,
Yeah, yeah.
at least the three of us are.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, total loss. Yeah,
That's what
I
that means. So,
so I mean I've been seeing a lot of confusion
mhm,
about what total loss means, and not just outside of the trade, but also inside the trade. I
yeah.
mean, I'll put out videos of a large job that I'm doing, and I get comments in my social medias where people are like, "How did that not total?" And it's like
Hmm.
value. It's all about value. We'll get
Yeah,
into that in a moment,
yeah.
but it's it. There are a lot of people that think that as soon as something that's designated structure,
Hmm.
which that's debatable.
There
As soon
have there
as
have been instances where they have structurally totaled vehicles. That's few and far between, but it does happen.
it's got to be to the point where the cost of the repair or replacement of those structural parts is just
Hmm.
doesn't make sense to do because of the
Yeah.
value of the vehicle. I mean, that's what we're going to get down to is it's all about cost of repair or replacement
Hmm.
versus the value of the vehicle. Now you could throw in things like salvage value and stuff in there too. You know, if it makes sense for the insurance company to sell the car in its current state, smashed up, for a
Yeah.
certain amount of money, you know, they will factor that into their decision making on whether or not something's a total loss. But
Hmm.
I'm going to tell a little story.
Go ahead.
I was on Facebook and I'm in a local group for a local town, and somebody asked for recommendations on a collision shop, and so I always dive into those. I don't always make suggestions,
Hmm.
but I like to see where people are going, where they're recommending, you know, in my area. And I go in there, and there were pretty much 10 or 15 comments, and all of them had a different shop listed. And only maybe one of them I'd recommend. But
Okay.
I'm pretty picky when it comes to body shops, as you all know. But anyway, then the person came back and they said, "Thank you, everybody, for suggestions. I just went to Body Shop
Yo.
X. Hey, Nick. I just went to Body Shop X and they quoted me $5,300, and that was like 2 grand just to paint the car. And that's insane. That would total out my car, and I need to go somewhere where they're not going to total out my car."
Hmm.
And of course, I'm sitting there starting to pull out my hair. You know? It's like, oh, goodness. If you go to another shop, they're using the same software to write you an estimate. It's going to come out very similar. If it comes out to be less, it'll probably end up being higher once they take it apart.
Hmm. Yeah, that's usually a preliminary estimate, is what people will write. They don't want to spend too much time on the front end, giving you all this information until actually the car's in and you can get somebody to take it apart and get a value
You can't
assessment.
you
You
can't
just
write
can't.
what you can't see.
You just can't. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So and my other point would be to that if you do find somewhere that's willing to do it for cheaper, that's not good for your vehicle. That means they're probably going to hack it together, skip some steps, not follow manufacturer repair procedures, do things they shouldn't be doing, and put you in danger in your next accident. And, I went on and I actually did respond in the nicest of ways, but basically telling them what I'm just telling you. And they called me negative and all, and I shouldn't be getting in their business and all this. I'm just like, okay, well, you inspire to that anonymous poster because they posted anonymously asking for auto body shops. You inspired this episode because
Right.
there's a lot of confusion out there, and I see these kinds of things all the time. We had somebody like that with a Jeep Cherokee. They got mad when there was a $5,000 difference that he had to pay. Past the point of being totaled.
Probably.
Yeah, that's probably so. To keep it from getting totaled, you have to pay $5,000 out of pocket. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that is an option if you really have to keep your vehicle. I mean, it can be cheaper to do that, pay the difference, than to go out and have to sign up for a car payment, which I understand. And that's a great way to go about it because then your car's still getting repaired correctly. Finding somebody to just throw on a front end kit that you found on the internet for $300.
What is a front end kit?
I don't know.
What does that consist
But
of?
that's what they came back to me and they told me. I already looked up online the parts I need. It's called a front end kit and my family will put it on for me. It's like that just sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Probably a bumper and a grill combo or something, maybe. Who knows? I don't know what they're talking
Yeah,
about.
if anybody in the comments knows what a front end kit comes with, but I've been 16 years in the industry. I've never heard of a front end kit.
I have seen some bumpers being rolled up into a small box and shipped to you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not
Those
sure.
those are the posts labeled when the customer provides their own parts.
Yeah, right. It's probably something along those lines. But yeah, simply put, the value of your vehicle is exceeded with money and it's deemed totaled. That's how your car becomes totaled.
Right, right.
Yeah, right, Lee. Bubba's got the front end kids down. He's got like he's got the hookup on them dudes for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, I mean, let me give you guys an example of.
Two fenders, bumper hood, and grill. That's the kit right there. That's the whole front end kit.
Is that legit, Nick?
No, probably not.
I mean, you never know. Sometimes he comes out with legit answers. I mean, he does try and bust some balls now and then, but
I mean, if you got a Sawzall, and a pallet, you can have it shipped to you. It's technically a front end kit, right?
that's a front end of a car. That's a front end clip.
Yeah.
Front end clip.
Well, they
not
spelled
kit.
kit wrong. They spelled kit wrong. That's the only difference.
No, they spelled clip wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, here's a video. I got some comments on this video, and I don't know if they'll show on the side, but people thought they were like, "Well, how did that not
Industry
total?"
standard bumpers, yeah.
Hey guys, check this out. 21 Jeep Grand Cherokee. The inner was dented too far to be repaired and no sectioning procedure allowed. So I had to change the whole panel. It goes under the apron, it goes under the windshield, it goes under the uniside, obviously. It goes under the roof, that had to be changed. Look at all of this assembly and protection that had to be done just to do this job. 106 body hours on this job, plus paint, plus detail, mechanical, and blah, blah, blah. Hey guys.
Yeah, I've seen them before. Oh, really? I've never seen those before.
Yeah, I've never seen it. It's got to be an eBay special.
It's got to be. It's got to be. But, you mentioned something, to take away from that video. You mentioned something about an OEM procedure, and there was no sectioning procedures in there. So, therefore, you have to what? Put the whole piece in.
Change the whole piece, and that piece went underneath a bunch of other metal that you can't take it off and put it back on.
Uh-huh.
So you have to replace those as well. And there was nothing wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with the roof on that Jeep. There was nothing wrong with the apron.
That's
Just
where we do our evaluations. Yeah, I bet they do. Yeah,
insurance tried sending me to Copart saying that's where we do it. Oh,
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so they do. Usually, they only do that when they're expecting it to be a total loss.
Mm-hmm.
They send it right to where it's going to be taken apart or crushed. And just save themselves some work there.
Yeah. So, let's see. The shop knows me. I went to Easy Fix. Just going. Yeah. Sometimes parts and stuff. I don't know why parts would be difficult to get for a Tacoma, but who knows what was going on a few years ago with parts and stuff. That was a big issue.
That's true.
And yeah, a lot of shops had to completely change the way that they structured their shops as far as parts coming in, estimators coming out and stuff. Now it's more picture based, and a little more back and forth with that. So it's a little different now.
So something that I've run into in the past, and you brought it up before the show, Nick. Something that people might not know: when a shop tells you that your car's totaling out, right, so what are your options at that point? I mean, you can take the check, obviously,
Yeah.
but you can also decide to get your car out of that shop and into a different shop to have them look it over. So it's not like as soon as the shop says it's totaled that that there's red
Hey,
tape
guys.
that can't be removed. Hey, Josh.
What's going on?
So that's not option that somebody has when they're told their cars. That's happened to me. That's actually, and I was really disappointed about the one that happened to me. And so I'll share something that's kind of an industry. I don't know if it's an industry secret. Generally, you do this behind closed doors. If a car totals out in your shop and it's got parts on it that you could use on your personal car and you work at the shop, sometimes people go and grab some stuff.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah, they're not really supposed to, but it does happen. And I almost had the opportunity to, and I couldn't. So I had an '06 Element at the time, and every Element that was coming into the shop just totaled out, because they weren't worth anything and they cost too much to fix.
Yeah.
And there was one that had all this aftermarket cool stuff on it. So I was like, yes, I'm going to grab some aftermarket stuff. And then the customer brought it to a different shop. They pulled it out of our shop and put it into another shop. Gone. Oh, well.
To get a second opinion. Yeah, you can always get a second opinion. And, something else that I'd heard before, like, we was doing some research and stuff, and I asked a few people, like, what are some of the things that they've heard or they've done. And one of the things was, like, after a car's totaled, I don't know.
What's up, Dan?
What's up, Daniel? I don't know if you guys know, but you can actually buy the car back.
Yes. Yes,
you can actually buy the car back. But that's the thing is, I didn't realize that people were unaware they could still put full coverage insurance on it again.
Well, so hold on, back up. So normally, and even to my knowledge, when you do that, you don't get a regular title anymore. You get what's called a salvage title,
Yes.
a not clean title.
Mm-hmm.
So you're learning, and you learned recently that that's not always the case.
No, what somebody was saying was somebody was telling me that people were unaware that there was like 3 or 4 different steps into a total. Like you could total a car out but still keep a clear title, and if it was like airbag damage or frame damage, then you could get like a salvage title and a rebuilt title, like a 3 different layer thing. And I wouldn't. Once a car is totaled, it's totaled. It's no longer going to have the clear title. In my state, at least.
That's what I always thought.
Yeah.
So, but weren't you telling me that there's an opportunity if it's not frame damage, if it's not structural stuff, it's not airbags. Like say a car got hit by a hailstorm.
Like
Just
what
had
Janelle said.
a million hail dents. It's so much so that to repair them, whether it be PDR or body shop, it's just more than the cost of the vehicles.
Yeah.
So it's totaled.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you can get that back with a clean title?
Not in my state, you can't, but apparently, maybe Janelle's saying in Colorado, you probably could. Each state's probably going to be different, but no, what I'm saying is here, at least in my state, that when a car is totaled, it's totaled regardless if it's hail, structure, airbags. Just if the monies exceeds the value of the car, you're not going to be able to get a clean title for it.
Okay.
You would get a rebuilt title.
Oh, I have heard of that.
Yeah.
I always thought it was the same thing as a salvage title. So that's interesting.
Well, as far as I know about it, and I haven't done a lot with like title structuring and stuff, but as long as it wasn't major damage, then you could get like some of the salvaged points taken off of it and just have it like a rebuilt title. Or you could get, if it had structure damage or something pretty heavy, then it would be salvageable rebuilt, as far as I know.
Okay. Well, so that's good to know, though, for people that potentially are in this situation, that might be another option.
Yeah, but I mean, either way, if you decide to buy one of these vehicles and it has that on it, as long as you have all the documentation and of the damage, any kind of pictures, proof, anything that you've done to the car, once you have it fully, back ready to go on the road, it's repairable. You can take it to like an inspection place, like a highway inspection, Department of Inspections, and they will give you, a rebuilt title for it, and you can drive it, put insurance on it, do whatever you want to do.
It's just so Daniel says totally depends on your state. Insurance company rebuilt titles are better than salvage titles for sure. Oh, interesting,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
And what's up, Cliff? Cliff coming in, and Matt Boyette. It's funny Matt put the rainbow in there because I was just at David's shop doing some R&I work for him before I came here home. And Matt called the hail tech that's working in David's shop. And they were talking about how I called Matt gay, which I didn't.
Oh, gosh.
But that's why he's coming in and giving the little rainbow symbol. Anyway, sorry, I tried to explain a little inside joke there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, so that's kind of in my state. That's how that kind of goes, But did you really, going back to the Matt Boyette thing? Did you really? Or you just
I
let
really
it
did
go?
not say it.
Okay,
It's just not.
He
in
said
me.
he didn't, Matt. I
And
don't
even
know.
sorry, that's not, to me, that's not an insult. I know plenty of people that are gay, so I never really throw that around as an insult unless you're acting really gay, But anyway, no, I did not say that. No, I had just mentioned because he had mentioned, his name is slipping. I only met him this one time. But he had mentioned he had worked with Matt Boyette. I was like, oh, he just had Matt Boyette on a podcast. He's like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Right, nice dude, yeah.
So
Andrew.
can the customer pay the difference before it's deemed total?
Yeah, so that's what they were talking about in here. So yes, the insurance company is only going to pay up to a certain amount before they're going to decide to total it out. So you have the option of paying the rest, and then you have a regular clean title. You're still going to have the Carfax report.
It will have a Carfax report, and it will have, all the damage that's done to it. But that's really what total loss is. The insurance company not wanting to pay more than the amount is worth on the vehicle.
Right.
That's really it.
And they'll factor in salvage value too, because they know what they're going to get when they sell the car at the auction in its smashed up state.
Yeah.
So they're going to take that off as well because they can get it back by taking your car.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's your car. It's your property. So
Matt says he doesn't believe you. Taking it off screen.
that's all right. Like I don't have it on the side of the screen here.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, it's hidden.
Hey, Chad, what's up? Another driver's training day today.
Probably getting a salvage title soon. Right.
Yeah, well, that happens. Hey,
It
Corey.
does. What's going on, Corey? How you doing today?
But yeah, it's so those are some options that people have when they say the cars. So let's talk about salvage titles. So salvage title is when you buy the car back and you have the shop fix it anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which so you
Sal-
get,
salvage titles meanings that it has been to a salvage yard, a junkyard per se, used for parts or taking what's left of the vehicle and scrapping that and using what's good on it to distribute to other vehicles. So like you ever heard
or
the
fixed up.
fixed up, but it's usually like LKQ, all that kind of stuff. So typically I know people are more familiar with scrap yards and stuff. So that's where the salvage title starts to come from.
Yeah, Robbie over on Instagram says salvage title is parts only. Cliff, North Dakota, they started having shops get certified to DOT vehicles. State didn't want to do it. Yeah, that's following the trend of everything. Insurance companies are handing jobs off to the body shops. Why not the DMVs?
Yeah.
But that's just, I mean, it's just the growing trend. Whether it be government or companies, everybody's trying to save money. One thing I like to tell people on that kind of note is when you have an adjuster coming in to your shop or calling you and they don't know about the repair process, which usually they don't, and you have to educate them on the repair process and what you have to do in order to repair something, whether you be PDR or body shop, send them another supplement, half hour, 0.5, educate adjuster. Because if the company's not going to educate their adjusters and pay money to educate their adjusters, and I'm going to take time, which is money, to educate your adjusters, well, then you're going to pay me for it. That's one of my favorite things.
It works, I guess. It's just a back and forth game, really, at that point. But
it's just if they're making their own decisions, on the people that they hire and the way they train them, and they shouldn't win all the time. Because usually they do. I'm talking about insurance companies here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, it takes a lot of documentation.
$250 admin fee. I like that.
Yeah. A lot of documentation to prove all that type of stuff. Admin fees are always good.
Yep.
So, yeah, you've got that. You've got what else do you have? You got, let's just say your car's wrecked. You know the value of your car, but you can't see it, and you're going to the body shop, and it looks like it's a small, like maybe you just ran into a hitch, but it actually, damages a lot of things, and your car's worth what you would think about $10,000, but you get, $10,500 added to this, but you didn't know it. It was just like a little hitch coming here, like the surprise stuff. I've seen a lot of that stuff happen before and actually get the cars completed, painted, and done with, and then they still total, but it's like a brand new car again, and it has to be shipped away. Have you ever seen any of that going on? You ever had any dealings with that?
I had a car. It was a WRX. At that time, it was new. And it was smashed up pretty bad. It even took a chunk out of the engine block. The part that hung down the most. It was actually right on the spot where the transmission and the engine bolted up. So it took off a chunk of both of them. So I needed an engine and a transmission. And I pulled that. That was actually one of the first engines I ever pulled. Luckily, a WRX is easy with a 2-post lift. You just lift the car off of it.
Yeah.
But I had to do it twice because the first engine they sent us was bad. That has nothing to do with insurance, but I had to change that one twice. But anyway, we did that, did the body repairs, painted it, And then there was an issue with this or that. So we finished that. And then we did this. It kept coming back for more and more and more. And while it was in the shop, we determined, oh, the battery's bad. And, an accident has a lot of force. And batteries are just, if you know what's in a battery, it's a bunch of plates. And they're about this far apart from each other. A collision can mess those up. And if one's touching another one or even just out of place, now the battery's not going to perform as well anymore. So, to the insurance, this needs a battery. This thing's fixed. It's all fixed. All it needs is the battery. They went, totaled.
Over just the battery.
Totaled. And it's because with the track record of that vehicle and what they had paid out already, and then it came back for this and came out for this and came back for this, and they paid for that and paid for that and paid for that. They had already spent more than they wanted to. So they were expecting after the battery, they were expecting there to be something else and something else and something else.
Oh, good.
So they just totaled it out. Gone. Fully fixed car, away on a wrecker.
Yeah, I have seen that before. So that's one good instance. Another one is there's going to be more and more coming down the line now with the calibrations and modules having to be programmed. That not only are you worrying about your car's structure or the airbags or the all those combined, now you have to worry about modules being programmed. And those are going to start totaling vehicles real soon. But main thing is, educating a customer on their vehicle and what these terms actually mean. So, like I said earlier, people think that some people say, I've heard it many times, the airbag's being blown, it's totaled my car. Airbag is a replaceable part, and is you cannot really, as far as I know, they do not make aftermarket parts. You can have them rebuilt at a couple of manufacturers rebuild, airbag parts, but these are all OEM replacement parts. And that's pretty common, especially with pretensioners, seat belts.
So now you're getting into why. A good question is, why is it that when airbags go, a lot of times the car totals? Why is that?
And this is why people believe that when airbags blow, the car's totaled. It's generally expensive for these parts. It's not a cheap part. Then you have to have them programmed sometimes, or at least a new module. But yeah, that's why people believe that.
And every time that a airbag blows, us as repair technicians have to look up. The manufacturer has a list of things that we either have to inspect, replace, or repair when airbags blow.
Yeah, so let's go over those though right quick. What are some of those? You have the seat belt, you have pretensioner,
So
you have
there's seat
driver
belt
airbag.
and the pretensioner. What is a pretensioner?
Pretensioner is where you latch your seat belt. It's actually the lock.
So
And it is loaded with like a CO2 gas that kind of explodes and pulls
sucks
the
it
seatbelt
in
really tight. So
that's separate from the seatbelt. So not only does the seatbelt lock up, but the pretensioner sucks it in, so it actually gets you tighter to the seat in a split second. And that's not repairable. You have to replace it. And like he said, it has to be OE parts.
It has to be OE parts. And usually when you're just a customer and you don't work on cars, you don't have anything, to do with vehicles. You just think about that steering wheel, that driver's steering wheel airbag, and you think, well, man, that's the airbag. That's what I'm worried about here. That's the only part that, really is really concerning to the person. But like I said, we just went over seatbelt, pretensioners. Then you have curtain bags. Let's just stay on the seat, though. You have seat bags, airbags in the seat, actually.
So once that goes, what do you got to change?
You have to change the
seat
cushion
frame, and the cushion,
the
upholstery.
The upholstery. A lot of times, it just depends. If you have heating elements, cooling elements, and heating and air conditioned seats.
Those are stuck to the seat. Usually, you can't transfer those.
Those are possible damaged components. Those have to be inspected. So just in the seat, there's a crazy amount of things that when an airbag goes off in the seat, that's
Oh, we're
collapse.
getting there, Andrew. We're getting there. Hold on.
Yeah.
Jumping
And
ahead of us.
like Lee says, VIN specific on a lot of things. That it not only is this stuff have to be all as one or encoded, read the same codes as you will.
Yeah.
Um,
But it might need to be programmed to work with the vehicle.
it has to be programmed. It has to see all the same numbers. But we've just gotten into the seat and seatbelt.
Now let's talk the driver. So we're basically talking driver stuff. So driver's airbag then.
Yeah.
Driver's airbag comes off. It's the thing that sits on top of the steering wheel.
Mm-hmm.
But when that happens, so if you think about it, there's all these electronics on your steering wheel. Plus the wires have to get to the airbag somehow. And you're taking this wheel and you're spinning it like this.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really think that there's wires inside there going to these components. I mean, they can't be, because every time you turn the wheel, you'd be twisting them. So there's a device in there called a clock spring. Right,
Absolutely.
and it's very delicate. And usually in that list of items that you have to replace when a driver's airbag goes off, you have to replace the clock spring.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a whole nother, you have to take the wheel off in order to get to it. So now we're taking the wheel off. We've got the clock spring off. There might be some plastics around the column that need to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And then for even minor accidents, most manufacturers want us to take the steering column out of the car and measure it to make sure it hasn't collapsed.
Yeah, that's
Andrew.
been a recent last few years kind of thing where collapsible steering columns have been coming into play.
Yep.
Yeah.
And definitely have to change the flux capacitor too, Danny. Thanks for the input. Appreciate it.
It's located under the steering wheel where they used to have the really awesome air conditioner vent. They took those out and replaced it with a lower airbag, which also has the flux capacitor in it.
Lower airbag. Now we're getting into a whole nother airbag for the driver. I mean, they've got the seat airbag. They've got the front airbag in their steering wheel. Now we're talking the lower airbag, which is also known as a knee bolster airbag. And its purpose is to come out, hit your knees.
Yeah.
But the reason for that is so that you don't slip underneath the dash and get all crumpled up in there. So it literally it's set to keep you in your seat. It hits your knees and holds you in the seat along with your seatbelt.
Along with the pretensioner and the seatbelt. So you have all these things exploding at once just on the driver's side, but that's not all that we have here so far.
No. So, I mean, you started to mention the curtain airbag.
I started to, yeah.
So that's another one. Even if the driver's all by themselves in the vehicle, we're still talking about bags that could go off for just the driver.
Yeah.
So there's a whole curtain airbag that comes down. As soon as that blows, what do you got to do? Got to change the headliner.
Well, yeah, I was just about to say, surely it doesn't damage the headliner. You can just push it back up there, right?
Yeah, just push it back up. Yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't push through the handles or any of that kind of stuff. And when that goes, what else goes with that? Along with the seat belt and the curtain airbag goes the interior trim for the lower part of the seat belt and the B pillar on the inside.
Yep.
So a lot of times you have to change that, and some of those those little adjusters you can pinch and move up and down to adjust your seatbelt height level.
Oh, good point.
Those also will become damaged lots of times. You have to change those out. So
even if they're not damaged, a lot of manufacturers say as soon as the seatbelt goes, you got to change the adjuster. So I've seen that plenty of times. Actually, I've seen a lot of shops forget that one. I said, did you look up the parts to be replaced? Oh, no, we just did everything. So did you do the adjuster? What?
Yeah, right.
It works fine. It's like, look it up, make sure.
Headrest, see, we haven't even gotten to that yet. And this is on a lot of Mercedes and BMW, if I'm not mistaken, vehicles. Headrest exploding going forward and that type of stuff.
There's also the ones that shoot up, especially for the convertibles that start to tip over.
Yeah,
the headrest will deploy up, and that's actually so that your head isn't the tallest thing in the car. It's so that the seat The top of the headrest is up here, and the car's resting on that, so they're not crushing your head by being upside down.
Yeah.
But I have seen those that honestly, to reset them, you just get them and you just click.
Click them back in. I've done a
Yeah.
few Mercedes ones like that. And the first one I come across, I didn't even realize that's what that was. One of my very first encounter was some of that stuff. I was like, well, seat headrest looks kind of different. What's going on here? And I couldn't figure out why the, codes and stuff were coming back. But speaking of codes and stuff, there's no sensors in the B pillars where your seatbelt bolts to, or the doors, are there? None of that, right?
No.
So you also
It's
have,
visual inspection.
yeah.
And if the a lot of times all these items, even if they don't go, the manufacturer suggests they get replaced when there's an airbag deployment. So it's just common practice. I mean, even though it looks like it's okay, we need to change those things in order to remove our liability from your next accident. Because if we don't change them and you get hurt because of them in the next accident, not only can you go after the shop, but you can go after the technician who worked on your car. And I'm not getting sued. I'm not going to get sued for this stuff.
Yeah, so there's some airbag sensors in doors and B pillars, but why would you change something if it doesn't look like it was messed up? When you have an accident, the gyroscopic sensor in the module is like a rollover sensor. When that gets ignited, it shoots electricity in a form of quite a bit of voltage that, even though it doesn't look like it's destroyed, it could still, because of that instant push to make all the stuff timed.
So you're talking about the airbag module,
Yeah,
now, right?
yeah. Well, the airbag module and the sensors on the car,
okay.
in the doors and stuff. A lot of times when those deploy in those areas, and you have to change them. A lot of times it's because of the high voltage that's ran through them. Even though they don't look damaged, or they might still work, they may not work the next time that it happens.
Right.
So that's why they would recommend changing a lot of that. So once you get through just the airbag and the front end collision airbag sensors and all that type of stuff, depending on where it's hit, once you have to change all that, it becomes quite a bit of money.
So now, I mean, like I just got into, there's also in the center of the car, usually in the center under the center console, sometimes under the dashboard, is what's called an airbag module. And it's really the brain of the whole airbag system. And I have never done a replacement on the SRS system that didn't require the module also being changed. Now we're taking the console out of the car to get to this. Usually, sometimes you can take off the side cover and get in there with a tool, but the time represents taking the console out of the car.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's another part that needs to be changed when the airbags blow. We still only talked about the driver's side. Passenger side, their front airbag is a doozy.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes there's access points where just the airbag will blow, but a lot of times, nowadays especially, the airbags are built into the dash, where they, all of it's hidden, because you don't want to see an ugly airbag symbol or sign, nowadays. So once that happens, you got to get rid of the dash. And
whole dashboard. No one wants to pay for that. That's not cheap.
Yeah, right.
So now we have a whole dashboard that we're changing. Sometimes even the beam that's under the dashboard needs to be changed from the shock of the airbag. I've only seen that once, but if the manufacturer suggests it, and that's what should happen. Mike Mack, smart people stuff. You belong here, one of us.
Shit.
But yeah, and they have their own curtain airbag. They have their own seat airbag. Just keep adding up that check. Just keep adding it in there.
Yeah, we just everything that we mentioned on the driver's side is also on the passenger side.
Knee bolster, yeah, except for they have a different front airbag. So
yeah,
and I will say, so when I was in trade school, we took some airbags out of some vehicles and took them in the parking lot, stood back to a safe distance, and set them off.
Yeah.
It was a demonstration to show us what airbags are really like. And the driver's airbag is no joke, but the passenger airbag, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near that thing when it goes off. That is a big, powerful airbag.
Did somebody put one under your seat cushion?
No one's ever done that to me.
Okay. All right.
I've seen videos of that, and of course in trade school we joked about launching one of our friends.
Yeah.
But
Some of those videos, I know
I
those
don't-
guys were not expecting to go that high when they.
I don't recommend that at all. People get seriously hurt.
What's up, Kevin? How you doing?
So remember, this is going on the internet, Nick.
I'm just saying, you know,
Huh?
I'm not talking about me personally. I'm talking about the videos that's already out there.
Yeah.
So, you know, obviously. Yeah.
I have a quick tip for technicians.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're mostly talking to the public here about education on airbags and totals and stuff, but a lot of airbag systems and sensors are run off of. I'm sorry, there's a noise back here. Can we not?
They are run off of the noise. No,
Sorry.
I'm just kidding. Come on
No,
back.
it was annoying the heck out of me. So anyway, their airbag systems are run off of pressure, air pressure.
Yes.
So there is a sensor in the door that literally just detects air pressure. And if something hits that door strong enough, it forces air pressure into the sensor, and that's how it knows to set the airbags off. So say you're working on that door and all the extra holes that don't have clips or something in them have stickers on them,
Yeah.
and you poke your tool right through that sticker and to get to a bolt and you don't replace the sticker or something, well, now you've just ruined the airbag timing. It'll still go off, but not as fast.
So you're saying those guys that don't replace those clear stickers or maybe even drill holes in doors and don't seal them up, that's grounds for changing the air pressure in the door, causing the airbag to go off or not go off?
Or
Premature?
just go off not as soon as it should. So
Mm-hmm.
usually it only affects the timing. So it'll affect how fast the airbag goes
Yes.
off. And if you've ever been in an accident, you know how important it is that airbag goes off instant.
Yeah,
It's
I've been in
within-
a vehicle one time where the airbags went off. It was inside of a shop and it was being worked on.
Ooh.
Yeah. So yeah. Actually, I was changing headliner bags and stuff, and I don't know this is why you disconnect the battery at all costs. But you don't really expect somebody to reach down and grab an airbag module and just flip it either. But you know, I had my headphones on. I am working away, you know, putting the stuff up. I've got those up, and I'm getting ready to put seats back in and stuff. And yeah, just a guy, you know, we're ready to go to lunch, and a guy comes over and just whatever reason, just fidgety kind of stuff, just picks it up, turns it over, boom, and all the airbags go off that I just replaced.
So
Thousands
he's at
of them.
fault for messing with that, especially without telling you first or whatever. But you should have had the battery disconnected. I do
Should
have
have.
to say.
That was real early on in my career.
I get
things.
it.
So
I get it. I've forgotten.
no,
I've
I'm
forgotten.
saying like that's why, you know, some of these things are important, like disconnecting batteries when you work on vehicles.
Right,
because
right.
Stuff like that can happen.
I'm just agreeing with you.
And no, as you know, yeah, that's why when you see on the estimate disconnect battery, it's always something that is should be done and should be considered when working on vehicles. That should be number one thing. When
Not to
doing
mention, it'll help save the state of the battery. If you're working on the body, usually you leave the door open, the lights are on, turn the key on to put the window down, forget you turn the key on,
right.
you know, that kind of things. Disconnecting the battery will save you from all of that.
Yeah, one thing you'll hear a lot in a body shop is, man, the body shop's hard on batteries because they stay open, doors open, you know, all this stuff a lot of the times, hood latches. And just because a car looks like it's not on doesn't mean that modules aren't still running. And a lot of times they can run up to an hour before they cut off. before they completely quit. So if you're ever working on a car, you're ever doing anything, to it, and you don't want to disconnect the battery and mess people's settings up if you don't have to. Like if you're just building, a back door, front door, and then maybe putting a fender or something on, nothing that's, too crazy, but you're still doing that. Just throw a battery charger on there. Just throw a little trickle battery charger on there and let it run the duration. It'll keep the battery charged and keep everything running for.
You mean I can't just run the car in the shop, just leave it running?
I mean, you could if you want carbon monoxide poisoning. Yeah, you could do that. If you got a tube that sticks to it that runs out of the shop, yeah, sure.
No, just let it run. I can't smell any fumes. It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah.
I'm pretending to be some of my old coworkers right now.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And honestly, it's actually quite a common trend I've seen in shops. The fact, just use a battery charger. Oh, I could just let it run.
Bobby
and
Z
kill us all slowly.
Bobby Z in the house. Yeah, sure.
Bobby Z!
Yeah, the airbags usually damage wire and harness at some point, somewhere when they do. Like I said, the electricity running through it kind of gets hot from all that stuff. And, you can just clip new wires and solder them back together, right, Steph? Especially on the clock spring, right?
Yeah, no. No.
That's stuff you have to change. You have to change. You have to get it out of there.
You cannot use any kind of wire repair on anything that's SRS involved. It's just you're messing up with the airbag timing. What's up, Bobby?
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, you change the so these wires can be signal wires, and when you solder something to these wires, you're changing the signal,
the resistance,
strength, the resistance.
Yes,
past that point. So, yeah, you can do a really good job at soldering, but it's not a good idea to be doing that, because once you start changing this kind of stuff, like the same with the air pressure bags and the doors, once you start leaving parts off or not doing correct repairs, you're starting changing the cycle of the vehicle. And that's why reading OEM procedures is valuable in this, and that's why airbags are considered to be expensive or totaled a lot of vehicles, which comes with this myth that airbags total vehicles.
Oh, nice. Bobby just landed the police account in his area. Nice. The only thing I've heard about that is that it takes a while to get paid.
Yeah.
Like, at least in this area, if you do work for the town or the city or whatever, you're going to be waiting 3, 4, maybe 6 months to get paid. But an account is an account, man. Sounds great.
Account is an account. I mean, you don't want like a couple of nights free stay down, at your local police station. But yeah, fixing dents on them is great.
Yeah, nice. No, that's awesome, Bobby. Happy for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Good job, man. Good stuff. Yeah. So,
I just want to leave people with the basic knowledge of, a total loss is not based off of what the damage is. The total loss is based off of what it costs to fix it.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's in comparison to the cost of the vehicle, the value of the vehicle, with relation to its salvage value. And if you're told your car is totaled, you do have options, but not many. It's not like you can shop around for a cheaper rate. You might be able to get your car out of a bad shop and into a good shop, but you need to make sure that shop that actually is fixing it is following the manufacturer procedures. I always tell everybody, so my family, they tend to get in a lot of accidents that are not their fault. So they always call me, and I tell them the same thing every time, because they're not in my area. Otherwise, I'd say bring it to my shop. Bring it to a shop that's certified in your OE, your manufacturer. So if you have a Honda, go to a Honda certified shop, and that that way you know they have the equipment necessary to fix your car correctly. They
Yep,
have
and
access to the procedures.
how do you know that shops that are OEM certified have the equipment necessary?
They have to be certified.
That's how you
It,
get certified. You
it's
have to
a
have a certain
requirement.
amount of equipment to be certified in this. So that's why OEM certifications are generally, what you're searching for, what you're looking for in your car.
And they have the training and the access to the procedures. So that's what I recommend. I mean, everything's a crapshoot, everything's a gamble, but it's yeah. What about if the frame is bent? Is it considered totaled steel? Oh, huh? I don't know what you mean there, Kevin.
I guess
The frame cannot be used on another vehicle. I mean, it's still going to be bent, so it's not even going to bolt up well. So, so that car, if somebody takes, say, a body over frame vehicle, the frame is bent.
the frame
Somebody
is bent, is it
it
still
totals.
considered not totaled?
Somebody else buys it for parts, puts it on another car after repairing it. That's a skeevy way of doing business.
So if the frame is bent, if it's on if you can buy a new frame for it or whatever frame ends or section, if it's allowed to be straightened, then you're good. But then again, it's whatever the insurance is.
It's all
willing
about
to pay.
value. Right. It's all about value. So if the car is worth a lot of money, then it might be worth changing the frame on it. And then no, it's not totaled. So it's all about value. One car might total because of that and the other one might not. There are cars that will never total. There are cars out there that will never total. And Bugatti Veyron, they will completely rebuild it. It's never going to be totaled. Never, ever, ever. Because they're worth so goddamn much. So yeah, but let's get to Bobby Z's trivia question.
Yeah, let's go. Last one, Bobby. Let's go. What you got?
What does metal stop moving in a direction you want to go in PDR? Why does metal stop moving in the direction you want to go? I don't know. You got me, Bobby.
I figured this is going to end up on like a Laffy Taffy little page or something.
I got a little funny story while we wait. I sold a car recently to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
They just went and got it. They just registered it in their state yesterday.
Yeah.
And they let me know that their state's DMV valued it at $3,000 less than they paid, so they feel like they overpaid. Like, you should be happy. You only have to pay taxes on less then.
You have locked metal somewhere.
You have locked metal somewhere.
Yeah.
That's very correct. So yeah, that is more trivia. I was hoping maybe it would be a joke.
I thought it was more of a joke. Are you talking about, well, you got a good sheriff over in your town. Maybe he could help you out with some of that locking, unlocking, right?
You got the locked up metal.
Yeah, right.
There, we made it into a joke for you.
Yeah.
Not a very good one.
No, it's horrible. It's the worst.
That was pretty good. I don't know. Oh man.
I don't know. It is what it is on that one.
It is. Well, I mean, here's a quick reminder, guys. Go enter this giveaway for the Smashmaster Slide Hammer.
Yeah. One more week.
Ken makes some really pretty tools. I don't have the Smashmaster, but I have the Ice Pick, which is the smaller version of it, and it's such a great slide hammer. So go and check that out. And
no
might
purchase,
get it for free.
No purchase, no anything necessary. Just be sure and be on next week's live and see who wins.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Have a good night, guys. We appreciate you coming in here and seeing you, Bobby Z. Yeah, man, absolutely. I've never been to a trivia. Been to a Trivium concert before, Trivium show, like
Trivium.
like a metal show.
Okay, I haven't done that.
No,
I've been to trivia before.
Oh,
Been to trivia. I've been to adult trivia. It was interesting. That's all I'll say there. I don't really remember much from it. That's the main thing. How do you get the slide hammer? All right. So you go to our Facebook account, which is Smash Masters on Facebook, and if you need, there are links on all of our social medias. You go to the link tree, it's in there. You can take you right to our Facebook. You have to like the post, the original post. You have to follow Smash Masters on Facebook and tag 3 friends in the comments. That's it. That's all you got to do. We're just trying to get more attention. That's all.
Giving away some good stuff along the way. So
Facebook PDR trivia. That's not a bad idea, Bobby. Thanks, Andrew.
Yep.
No worries, Brandon.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate you hopping on.
Yep. See it, man. Yeah, showing some love on the Facebook. Yeah, but that's all we got on the airbag stuff, right? And the total loss stuff for today. I don't know. We can probably do like a more in-depth study with somebody that does evaluations or something soon. If you guys are interested in something like that.
Oh, you know what? I did miss one thing. Hold on. I've got one more option for somebody who's got a totaled vehicle. You take the check and then you contact somebody who does diminished value claims.
Okay.
You know, I mean, so you take that person, they're going to get you more money from the insurance company.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with more money from the insurance company. They know, we all know they take enough from us. So go get you some. Find somebody who does diminished value claims, and they will help you. And I just had somebody contact me on TikTok that has one of those companies, and he wants to do a partnership of some kind. I don't know what he wants. I'll figure that out. For all I know, he could be watching. I let him know we'd be live now.
Yeah, right.
But it's another option for people. You know, let's get all the money from them, and it's not fraud either. It's not like, oh, my neck is hurt, even though it's not. You know, it's not along those lines. They use documentation and get you more because we all know the insurance company's not paying out everything they should be. So get somebody on your side that knows a lot about that stuff and get you some more money.
A non-biased option is always a good choice.
So maybe we'll have this person. I mean, I haven't talked to them. It only contacted me just the other day on TikTok. But maybe we'll have them on the show.
If you guys want to know more about diminished value claims and that area of the car world, hey, let us know. Hit us up. See what you think about that. If that'd be something you guys would be interested in.
We do love ideas too. Yeah, if you guys have a certain thing you'd want to learn about or something, just send us a message.
Yeah.
We won't laugh at you, I promise.
No, suggestions and all that stuff are always good. So, yep, keep us in mind if you got something you want to know about, see about, hear about, be about. It's kind of good.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, well, I don't have anything else. You have anything else?
No, sir.
All right, well, peace out.
Bye, everybody.